A social worker is working with a client named Sarah, who is in her late 20s and has a history of severe childhood trauma. Sarah has been struggling with deep-seated trust issues and finds it challenging to form meaningful relationships. She often feels disconnected from others and experiences overwhelming anxiety in social situations. Which psychotherapy approach may be most beneficial for Sarah to address her trust and relationship issues? A. Dialectical behavior therapy, DBT. B. Person-centered therapy. C. Solution-focused therapy. D. Rational emotive behavior therapy, REBT. B. Person-centered therapy. Person-centered therapy, developed by Carl Rogers, is a humanistic approach that may be most beneficial for Sarah. This therapy focuses on creating a safe and non-judgmental therapeutic environment where clients like Sarah can explore their emotions, build trust, and work on forming meaningful relationships. In Sarah's case, her trust issues may stem from her history of childhood trauma, which could make person-centered therapy particularly effective. This approach emphasizes empathy, unconditional positive regard, and genuineness on the part of the therapist, allowing Sarah to feel supported and encouraged to express herself openly. Through the therapeutic relationship and person-centered therapy, Sarah can begin to build trust, explore her past trauma, and work on developing healthier and more meaningful relationships in her life. A social worker is assigned to work with a diverse group of clients from various cultural backgrounds in a community mental health clinic. These clients include individuals from immigrant communities, LGBTQ+ populations, and various religious affiliations. What is the single most crucial factor that the social worker must consider when providing culturally competent care to these clients? A. Using standardized assessment tools to maintain consistency. B. Imposing the social worker's own cultural beliefs to foster familiarity. C. Recognizing and respecting cultural differences to tailor interventions. D. Avoiding clients from different cultural backgrounds to prevent potential conflicts. C. Recognizing and respecting cultural differences to tailor interventions. In a diverse and multicultural setting, recognizing and respecting cultural differences is the most important factor when providing culturally competent care. This approach allows the social worker to tailor interventions to each client's unique cultural context and preferences. Imposing the social worker's own cultural beliefs, option B, would be counterproductive, as it can lead to misunderstandings and hinder rapport building. Using standardized assessment tools, option A, can be a helpful component, but it should be complemented by cultural sensitivity. Avoiding clients from different cultural backgrounds, option D, is not an ethical or effective approach, as it goes against the principles of inclusion and diversity in social work practice. A social worker with expertise in domestic violence is urgently dispatched to a local domestic violence shelter to provide crisis intervention for a survivor named Maria. Maria, a 30-year-old mother of two, has recently fled her abusive partner and is traumatized, visibly shaken, and fearful for her safety. She trembles as she clutches her young children tightly. What should be the social worker's primary goal during this high-stakes crisis intervention? A. Encourage Maria to immediately report the abuser to the authorities, emphasizing her safety. B. Ensure Maria's safety and the safety of her children while providing immediate emotional support. C. Persuade Maria to reconcile with her abuser to prevent further harm. D. Refer Maria to long-term therapy to address the trauma she has endured. B. Ensure Maria's safety and the safety of her children while providing immediate emotional support. In this highly sensitive and urgent crisis intervention scenario, the primary goal must be to ensure the immediate safety of Maria and her children. Providing emotional support is crucial to help Maria regain a sense of security and stability during this traumatic experience. Option A, while important, may not be the immediate focus, as Maria's safety should be secured first before reporting the abuser to the authorities. Option C, persuading Maria to reconcile with her abuser is not an appropriate approach, as it can potentially endanger her further. Option D, referring Maria to long-term therapy is important but should be addressed after her immediate safety and emotional well-being are stabilized. A social worker is tasked with conducting a comprehensive evaluation of a mental health support program specifically designed for veterans returning from active duty. The program aims to provide essential mental health services to veterans dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and other related issues. The evaluation seeks to determine if the program not only achieves its objectives but also utilizes resources efficiently and effectively. What type of evaluation method should the social worker employ to assess whether the program is delivering its intended services efficiently while achieving its goals? A. Needs assessment. B. Cost-effectiveness analysis. C. Outcomes assessment. D. Formative assessment. B. Cost-effectiveness analysis. In this context, the primary focus of the evaluation is to determine whether the mental health support program for veterans is delivering its intended services efficiently while achieving its goals. Cost-effectiveness analysis is the most appropriate method for assessing how efficiently resources are being used to produce the desired outcomes. This evaluation method helps measure the cost of services relative to the benefits and outcomes obtained, ensuring that resources are utilized optimally in support of veterans' mental health needs. It goes beyond assessing outcomes alone and specifically addresses the efficiency of service delivery, making it a valuable tool for program evaluation in this scenario. A social worker is an integral part of an interdisciplinary team working with a client named John, who has a dual diagnosis of substance use disorder and a severe mental illness. The team includes a board-certified psychiatrist, a licensed addiction counselor, a psychiatric nurse with expertise in medication management, and the social worker. John's case is complex, as he struggles with both addiction and severe mental health symptoms. Given this scenario, what is the most crucial aspect of this interdisciplinary collaboration for providing effective care to John? A. Providing comprehensive care by combining addiction and mental health services. B. Maintaining professional boundaries with the client. C. Prioritizing the addiction treatment over mental health care. D. Focusing solely on medication management. A. Providing comprehensive care by combining addiction and mental health services. In this complex scenario, the most crucial aspect of interdisciplinary collaboration is providing comprehensive care that combines addiction and mental health services. John's dual diagnosis requires an integrated approach that addresses both his substance use disorder and severe mental illness concurrently. This approach ensures that John receives holistic care that considers the interplay between his addiction and mental health, leading to better outcomes and improved quality of life. The other options, such as maintaining professional boundaries, prioritizing addiction treatment over mental health care, or focusing solely on medication management, do not address the complexity of John's needs adequately. Comprehensive care is essential to effectively support individuals with dual diagnoses. A social worker is working with a client named Mark, who experiences severe obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD. Mark's life is significantly impacted by his repetitive intrusive thoughts and compulsive behaviors, which interfere with his daily functioning. Mark expresses a strong desire to overcome his OCD and regain control of his life. Considering the nature of Mark's condition, which psychotherapy approach may be most effective in treating OCD by exposing Mark to feared situations and preventing his ritualistic behaviors? A. Dialectical behavior therapy, DBT. B. Rational emotive behavior therapy, REBT. C. Solution-focused therapy. D. Exposure and response prevention, ERP. D. Exposure and response prevention, ERP. In the case of severe OCD with repetitive intrusive thoughts and compulsions, exposure and response prevention, ERP, is a highly effective psychotherapy approach. ERP involves exposing the client to their feared situations or thoughts, exposure, while preventing them from engaging in ritualistic behaviors, response prevention. In Mark's case, ERP would help him confront his obsessive thoughts and gradually reduce the compulsive behaviors that provide temporary relief but perpetuate the cycle of OCD. ERP is specifically designed to address the core symptoms of OCD and can lead to significant symptom reduction and improved quality of life. A social worker is facilitating a support group for individuals with substance use disorders. During a group session focused on relapse prevention, one participant named John becomes increasingly disruptive and hostile toward others. John's outbursts include verbally attacking fellow group members and refusing to participate in group activities. What is the most appropriate and professionally ethical way for the social worker to provide feedback to John, considering the group's therapeutic environment and objectives? A. Give feedback to John in a private and confidential setting after the session. B. Choose to ignore John's behavior to maintain group cohesion and prevent potential conflicts. C. Address John's disruptive behavior in front of the group, emphasizing respectful communication. D. Immediately discontinue the support group to avoid further disruptions and discomfort for group members. A. Give feedback to John in a private and confidential setting after the session. This challenging scenario requires addressing John's disruptive conduct while maintaining the group's therapeutic environment. Option A is best since the social worker may give feedback privately after the session. John is respected, group tension is avoided, and secrecy is maintained. It also lets the social worker examine John's conduct and help him improve group behavior in future sessions. Option B, ignoring disruptive or antagonistic group conduct, especially if it affects treatment, is not advised. Such behavior can harm the group dynamic, make others feel insecure, and undermine the therapeutic goals. Social workers must recognize issues. Option C, while disruptive behavior must be addressed, it may not be the best first step. Publicly confronting John may embarrass or defensively escalate the problem and endanger the group. Option D, as a last measure, discontinue the group due to one disruptive member. It would be excessive and penalize all group members, many of whom may benefit from the support group. Address disruptive behavior and consider group repercussions or expulsion as the final option. A dedicated social worker is entrusted with managing a complex and urgent case involving an elderly client, Margaret, who is experiencing severe financial exploitation and neglect by her caregiver. Margaret's living conditions are deplorable, and she appears to be in a state of physical and emotional distress. What should be the social worker's immediate priority in this case? A. Initiating a search for suitable long-term housing options for Margaret. B. Conducting a thorough assessment of Margaret's cognitive and physical well-being. C. Promptly reporting the alarming abuse to the appropriate authorities. D. Commencing an exhaustive financial evaluation to uncover the extent of exploitation. C. Promptly reporting the alarming abuse to the appropriate authorities. In this scenario, the immediate priority for the social worker is to ensure Margaret's safety and well-being. Reporting the abuse to the appropriate authorities is crucial to initiate the necessary protective measures for Margaret. This action takes precedence over other considerations, such as long-term housing or financial evaluation, as Margaret's immediate safety and protection must be addressed urgently. It is vital to involve the authorities who can intervene and investigate the abuse while ensuring Margaret's immediate safety. Once safety is assured, the social worker can proceed with assessments and suitable long-term planning. A social worker is working with a client, Sarah, who is a survivor of a long history of intimate partner violence. Sarah is hesitant to share her experiences and fears potential retribution from her abusive partner if her story becomes known. She is torn between seeking help and protecting herself. What should the social worker emphasize in this situation to address the complex power dynamics and build trust with Sarah? A. Guaranteeing utmost privacy to protect Sarah's information, even from the authorities. B. Giving Sarah the confidence to confront the abuser directly and seek justice. C. Refraining from discussing the subject of intimate partner violence unless Sarah initiates it. D. Providing reassurance about Sarah's safety and explaining the limitations of confidentiality. D. Providing reassurance about Sarah's safety and explaining the limitations of confidentiality. In this challenging scenario, the social worker should prioritize Sarah's safety and build trust by providing reassurance. By explaining the limitations of confidentiality, the social worker ensures that Sarah understands what information can be shared while taking steps to protect her safety. This approach addresses the power dynamics in the abusive relationship and allows Sarah to feel more secure in seeking help. Option A. Client privacy is crucial. However, even from the authorities, intimate partner abuse instances should not be kept private. Social workers may have a legal and ethical obligation to disclose imminent threats to client safety to authorities. Option B. In intimate partner violence, encouraging the client to confront the abuser is unsafe. Confronting the abuser without a safety plan might endanger the victim. Social workers must protect clients, which may need non-confrontational methods. Option C. Avoiding intimate partner violence is ineffective. The client's well-being requires acknowledging and resolving the issue. The social worker may assist the victim in understanding their choices, making a safety plan, and getting support by carefully discussing it. A social worker is working with a client named John, who has been diagnosed with severe depression and has a history of self-harm. John initially appeared motivated to engage in therapy but has recently become withdrawn and resistant to discussing his emotions. The social worker notices that John's demeanor has changed and he seems distant during sessions. What should the social worker do to address this change and maintain a therapeutic relationship? A. Respect John's autonomy and avoid addressing his withdrawal. B. Express frustration with John's resistance to encourage honesty. C. Gently explore John's change in behavior and express concern. D. Refer John to a different therapist who may better suit his needs. C. Gently explore John's change in behavior and express concern. In this scenario, it is essential for the social worker to address John's change in behavior and express concern in a supportive and empathetic manner. This approach allows the social worker to maintain the therapeutic relationship while acknowledging John's emotions and providing an opportunity to discuss his concerns or reservations. Option A. While respecting a client's liberty is crucial, disregarding John's behavior change and disengagement may harm the therapeutic partnership. The social worker must gently investigate John's disengagement to address any underlying concerns that might impede his therapeutic progress. Option B. Frustration may harm a therapy relationship. It might separate the customer and hinder communication. Instead, the social worker should empathize with John to get him to talk. Option D. A client's behavior change may require a referral to another therapist, but it shouldn't be the initial response. Before referring, the social worker should address the issue and investigate John's disengagement. Social workers must establish trust and resolve issues in therapeutic relationships. I trust this video has proven to be informative in enhancing your comprehension of social work license exam questions. If you're interested in expanding your studies, I assure you a captivating and enlightening 90-minute study session where we'll analyze questions and explore real-world applications. Come and join me for an amazing learning experience. Enroll today and gain access to an amazing chance to receive my exclusive ebook with 70 social work practice questions or my comprehensive online practice exam with 150 social work questions. And that's not all. As a bonus, you will also receive my highly sought-after Strategies for Success activity ebook at no cost. This amazing bundle is crafted to empower you on your learning journey and guarantee your ongoing success. Don't pass up on this opportunity. Enroll today. Visit my website, gilbertmbell.com, and find the sign-up link in the description below. Alternatively, you could text the word study to 347-683-7923. I am excited to study alongside you and assist you in reaching your full potential as a social worker. Thank you once more for tuning in.